Chris, you want to start with this one then?
Sure.
Since we're
Give you an update of where we are.
rolling?
The input survey went live last Wednesday. So we're starting to see some responses come in now. It's a quick survey. I think it's 21 questions is I think what it ended up being. Most of them are either, they just click on an item that is of interest or their response. Some are fill-in box questions. I looked today, the average response time takes them 7 minutes to do the survey, so it's not like it's lengthy. It's quick. We actually just had a master plan meeting just before this one, so we did go over some ways that we're going to communicate the link out. It's gone out through a press release, which that should be hitting the street, I believe, this week. And then we will start to do some direct sort of target audience email blast to people that are in our programs through RecTrack. We can direct email them the link so that way it's sort of a captured audience. So we're going to start that by the end of this week. Our hope is that we'll get a pretty good response in regards to the survey. The last time we did this, 6 years ago now, 5.5 years ago, we got just over 500 responses. So we're hoping to double that. We'd like to be up over 1,000 easy. We advertised it at our family Halloween event 2 weeks ago. We had some people that actually filled out hard copies, which we do have available, like Town Hall, the Rec Center, the library. So if people don't feel comfortable going online, we do have hard copies available that we just batch and put the information in. So that's live now, and like I said, there's the survey. It's I'm hoping the target end date is November 9th. I'm hoping that we don't need to extend that any longer. I'm hoping the 9th is plenty of time for us to get our responses. So I was going to use this sort of platform too to encourage people, if you know that you have people that are interested in regards to sharing their feedback, please send them to either the town site, you can send them to the rec site directly, which is penfieldrec.org. It's right on there.
Okay, it's under rec.
It's pretty simple, and
Right on the homepage.
it's right on the homepage, and literally it takes, like I said, less than 10 minutes to do. So we're hoping to get a really good response. There's places in there people can, like I said, fill in information versus just answering the question. They can share their input, so they can really expand on any number of different topics or pieces that they have an interest in.
Awesome.
This is obviously recreation across.
It's across the board, yeah. So there's questions that are, the master plan's kind of broken into 4 pieces. We have programs and parks, which is one component, a facilities question or component, and then a people's component. So between those 4 sections, that's really what makes up the entire master plan. The survey sort of captures general questions around each one of those 4 core areas. So you'll see some questions that are specifically related to parks, some that are specifically related to facilities, etc. So people have a chance to sort of across the board answer or give feedback on their needs or their interests.
Do you have a target end date or
November 9th.
for the survey? But I'm saying for the rec master plan itself.
What we talked about today was we're hoping that there's subcommittees for each one of those key areas. The plan is that by the 3rd week or 2nd week in December, those committees are done and wrapped up, so that over the course of basically December into January, we can start to compile all that information and make the report start to take shape, so that way there early in 2019 we can finalize, go back, answer questions, see what areas we're sort of lacking in or missing. So our target is, I'll say February to March timeframe of when we'd like to be done early in 2019.
Let's say this committee, the town board's tasked the group with ending towards the end of March.
Yeah,
So
it's very,
just see the timing of that, and then is the survey data information available after November 9th? To share,
truthfully, it's going to depend. It will be. I'm sure for this group, I can bring all sorts of information in. We probably won't pull all the data survey until we're done. We're scheduling similar to this group, we're scheduling an input session, which is going to be later in November. This one is, I think it's set as the 13th, so we tried to avoid confusing people, so we're going the end of November, so we're going on the 29th. At that, we won't have the live link, but we're still gonna have the surveys available, so if people didn't have an option or an opportunity to do it, we'll still provide them with that opportunity. So I'll say the data collection probably won't be until early December when we actually pull all the information out.
Well, that could be timely. I'd say we're kind of slating our next meeting being December 11th.
Yep, yeah.
We'll have the public information meeting ahead of that, and then if we've got the rec information,
Yep,
kind of have that 11th meeting might be good to.
yeah,
Kind of come
that fits
together.
from a time schedule.
Okay.
So if you know people that want to share their feedback, please send them to the site. Like I said, our hope is that we'll have a fairly good response from it.
Okay. Any other updates on our end?
No, we're still waiting for the RFP to be prepared. It's supposed to be done by the end of the month, but it's not gonna happen, so it's probably gonna be due next month.
You're talking for the Clark House.
For the cloud house, yeah.
So,
Jim, does that have to go out for like competitive bids? Is
Mhm.
there,
No.
yeah.
okay. So it's kind of the updates from us. Obviously, this group wanted to get back together and kind of share thoughts, comments, observations from North Site Walks. I think the majority of the people did it on the Tuesday afternoon. I think there was a group of 4 of us, myself included, that walked on the Saturday tours. We did the Saturday morning. Thankfully, the skies parted for a few moments. We had a little bit of sunshine and,
Yeah.
on our part of the walk there.
Great
But
morning walk. Yep.
I say we kind of put the map up over there if anybody wants to point. I've got a laser pointer here if anybody wants to help the conversation, but this is kind of your guys' opportunity to share your thoughts and discussions with each other, and then we'll kind of run through what the process will be on the 13th, what to expect, how it's going to be run, your process in that and everything else. So.
And if there's something you want me to pull up, let me know. We have some pictures of staff,
I have a
so
quick
we have
question.
some comments.
The area, I guess this is the northwest, where there's the big hill. How high is that hill above the surrounding ground, do you know?
Are you talking the 18th
Yeah.
hole?
Yeah.
The 10th hole?
Well, 10 is just east of that. 18 is.
And 17?
off the creek.
Yeah,
Is
17.
that the one you're
Oh,
talking about?
18, oh, I see.
I mean,
Yeah,
10
there's that ridge.
10 is here, so if you walked in,
We
you
went on
walked
right
in
and we walked around.
10, and then as you came back,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
was 18 here, where you kind of stood at the top, and then you kind of looked down the fairway
yeah.
in there. Do we have our viewer?
What were those contour lines?
Those are 2.
Okay.
We have our viewer,
Okay.
which are 2-footers, if you can get to the staff side.
I feel like those must have been more than 2 being out
I
there.
thought they were more. I'm working.
No, our contours are 2-foot contours, looking at them, but I think those
That
are,
map makes
I think those are 5s or 10s,
Yeah,
looking at
it's
the,
more like 5.
looking at the map there. We've got,
Are there any
Or-
maps that have the hole numbers on them? Because I know a lot of people know the course and can speak by the hole number, but I've never played there or anything.
Oh, I didn't know.
It'd be interesting to
There you
know.
go.
Yay!
The south section is the back 9.
Yeah,
The back 9 holes.
I knew that much.
so this is LiDAR data, that was flown by the county, I think it was 2010, 12.
Well, I'm gonna say 12.
They flew it, so it's not 100% accurate, but we found it pretty close. At least it gives you, so those are 2-foot contours.
These are.
You can see the major elevations are the darker lines, so you got 410,
10.
contour 30, 20, so it goes up or down from there. But you can see a little bit more of the grade.
Mark, some of that grading is really not natural. It's the outcasts or the top.
So see, it's
from the
not
quarry. It's all-
if you go over on the quarry side, you can see the elevation there. Some may be affected by trees. They try to do it on the off times to get the.
But didn't they
leaf off.
remove a lot of the top soil before blasting from the quarry and brought it over? It's my understanding a lot of that is,
Some of
is
what is hole number 12, we've
yeah,
known that
it's
was
refuge,
some
yeah.
overburden material.
overburden. Yeah.
We did actually have one person, before we bought it, made a statement that there was actually garbage or other stuff deposited there. As memories, we went out there and did deep holes on the 12th hole here. Actually, that's 15, excuse me. 12 is here, 13, 14th hole is here. So we went out there and dug as deep as the excavator would go. So we got down about 25 feet and didn't find anything. If it's buried, it's deeper than that. But we did some due diligence in 4 different spots along the hole out there as we dug by the green along. So we've got a hole here. We've got one out in the middle. I think we dug along this hedgerow here because they claimed this hill was more artificial of what was construction material, in which we allow. We allow for fill as being brick, block, asphalt. What we don't allow is truly garbage, more organics and stuff that's going to settle. So we just wanted to kind of see, is it we saw some stones, whether that was overburdened stone on the top that wasn't quality material from what they had. But the digging we did, we never found any true garbage or stuff.
That was done as part of the environmental phase 2.
We did that just as some due diligence before we bought the property.
Yeah.
We hired another group to go out and do the actual testing of herbicides, pesticides, lead, asbestos to the buildings. We went out on our own and just tracked an excavator out there, got permission from Dolomite before we actually owned it. Just went off that information and did 4 deep holes out there and never found anything from that. But you can see, obviously, there's steeper grade here. For most people that walked, we came down this way. I think you guys went this direction here. We
went this way.
Okay, we did the same path. We went behind the main building.
Yep.
You walk this path over here. You can see down the 12th fairway, kind of the laneway here. We didn't really walk up this slope here. It was kind of on that hillside to your right, on the back edge. As you get down here in the corner, you can see where the creek comes through. This is where the bridge is, the creek, and then you just kind of start to come up the hill. And then this is the 13th hole. This is the 14th hole here. This is the tee boxes, and then this was the deep drop on the slope, and then the green was up here on that back edge.
Public access through, like along one of those property lines of those private properties that are adjacent to it. I was talking to a neighbor down there, and
One neighbor mows themselves in public access.
okay.
There is one on the front 9, though, in the Harwood Circle.
Harwood, there is a stub of Harwood on the front 9. The back 9, we don't own any access off that.
Okay.
Some neighbors have mowed their own path and continue to mow a path. We put signs out reminding them that it's
Okay.
I'm curious to hear what everybody thought of it who was there for the first time. Isn't that sort of a unique piece of property?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still pretty.
yeah.
Yeah, I had been there before, but with a different eye, walking through it for different uses besides.
Especially when it goes down, crosses the creek.
That was my actual favorite part of the entire walk.
Would it be possible to get a PDF of some of the, like, these contours are better than the ones that we have on the map that we have?
Sure.
Especially I like the one with the minor lines too.
Yeah, if I turn it on the other one, just
So there's definitely some more terrain there than what this points out.
You're trying to get
Yeah.
an
Yeah,
idea
now
of
it
the
gets real
slopes.
pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see the creek line goes down, flows down through, and then this is kind of that low area in here that drains out of there as well. So you can see some more of the elevation to it.
I'll put that on Google Drive for you guys.
Okay. Thanks.
Do you want the front and back?
Yeah.
It'll be a whole- it'll be a
great.
PDF.
I love pouring over that stuff.
It'll be a
so.
PDF you can zoom in and out of. I'll up the quality on it. It'll be a
Okay.
larger file size.
Yeah, that's fine.
It'll work. Mm-hmm.
Because we can't have access to this, right?
We don't have this on the public side right now. We have, are the contours on the public side?
Yeah, I might.
I know we don't have utilities.
So anything like that at the Monroe County GIS site? Because that doesn't go into that detail, does it?
Yeah, there's just not that much detail. We could probably put the contours on the
I don't know
public
why we
side.
don't have contours on there.
The public side,
More
the only
homework.
thing we keep out is we have easements, and then we have utilities and stuff, and that's, RG&E and the Water Authority and those don't like us giving out where they're water mains are and gas mains, which is understandable. But most of the stuff on the public side, but we could
Steep slopes.
look at putting the contours on the public side as well. It's
Yeah, that'd be great.
it's
It's
not.
like it's just a selectable field or something. No.
It's based on GIS layers. You can just add those layers on and off.
This is the
Um,
public view on the website. When you just go to this icon on the left here, you can see all the layers you can turn on
I see.
for various things on the base maps. So we can add that. I thought I had it in there, but we'll make sure we get it in.
There's one of them, you can zoom in and it actually gives you the addresses of each lot that's marked there. Each lot is,
Yeah, when you get
If you
to
zoom in close enough, it'll show the address of the parcels and.
And where's a link to that? Is it easy to find on the site?
through the engineering's page, there's
Okay.
a GIS maps.
I had no idea that existed.
I didn't.
Right.
You gotta dig a little bit.
An engineering page.
Well, this one's not there yet. He's gonna put it there, but.
Sweet.
How long is the cart path around the back?
I knew somebody was gonna ask that and I was gonna map it, I was gonna trace it out before we got to the meeting and I didn't.
Can you run out there and check right now?
I got a wheel, I can wheel it off
Do you
tomorrow.
have a wheel?
Yeah.
We do have a wheel.
Could you be back by 8:30?
How long the cart path
I'm
is
not
in
sure.
walk.
each hole's an average of 300 yards and maybe the cart path goes halfway down each hole.
So we probably walked a mile and a half, I'm guessing it was
Yeah.
probably,
Yeah.
if I had to guess, is what we walked. We walked, that's the only complete loop that's out there. If you walk the other holes, they kind of go from tee box to part right up the fairway and then they kind of stop on the fairway.
It's how
And
you
they
do
pick up at
it.
the green again, so the rest of them are kind of broken off, but the loop we did is you could completely walk on pavement around that loop.
Is there a timeline on when the back nine will be open?
They're supposed to be getting back out there in the next 2 weeks. Right now, they're getting the salters on the trucks, and they're trying to get snow. They are, unfortunately.
November's in 2 days.
Getting the snow fences up and stuff, so DPW's kind of on that mode right now. Once they kind of get that stuff done, they go back on the back nine and start clearing trees and chipping and mulching. I know the supervisors said hopefully in
What's the
December.
Prospects that the town could franchise a cross-country ski operation. How about somebody come in and rent skis?
Eventually,
Through the rec department.
I'm sure somebody will.
I think eventually, possibly. I don't know if it's on the radar for this winter or this season, but.
We haven't had anybody come to us and, with that venture from a rental standpoint. We have had discussions in regards to trails, grooming trails, and actually we've had discussions even with the school district because the school district does own a groomer. So we've discussed the ability for us to be able to utilize the groomer and be able to actually have groomed trails if that was a need.
The school district has a
For
snow groomer?
Grooming what, snow or?
Snow for their cross-country team.
Oh, they have, oh.
Texas go for the
I've seen ones in Webster Park, they say they use a
Yeah.
CMP pipe and strap it under the red. It just kind of
They
has
have
that little
a
rivulet. so
snowmobile and
they
then
make
it's
a hole in
actually,
I thought you looked for the first guy.
I didn't know that.
His tracks.
the one that they had to do this, they can do either tracks or
So they can follow the
it's
path.
a
They
dual,
gotta
so
follow
they
the
can do
path.
skating if they want.
No kidding. Learn
Chris, have you
something new every
discussed
day.
anything with the
Every
with
day is a school
RXCSF at all about?
We've had some groups contact us once we've got a plan together that they'd like to be involved with me. We've had it from cross-country skiing, I've had, people contact us from cross-country running, so I've had groups that have reached out.
Okay.
So
What was
there's,
the
I think
acronym?
there's interest.
RXCF.
RXCSF, Rochester Cross Country Ski Foundation.
Okay.
We've also encouraged groups that have reached out, if they have time to attend that public information meeting, if they want to come in, hear the conversation, they can say 5 minutes of, what they might offer or what they might have an idea for there. That meeting's open to the public and everyone else, so, hopefully, we'll see how many groups would show interest, because it's out there for everyone to know now. But we'll try and keep everyone to like 5 minutes so they can kind of, if they have something they want to offer for the committee to hear and for the town to hear, then that would be a good forum for them to start.
In context with cross-country skiing, that cart house would make a fabulous lodge. You look at that thing, it has lodge written all over it, but for cross-country skiing or something, that'd be awesome. Even for just a park, it would be a wonderful lodge.
Can't say the word park.
To that, on our webpage, we've also made the online form. It's already up and available. So if people want to start submitting comments now.
Okay, so
That's right on the main page. So you go to Shadow Pines
Perfect.
Public Input. That's already up, so the people that can't make it on the 13th, they can go in and plug in what their suggestion is, their thought, their want, desire. So that is already available. So we'll start collecting those, and then
How long
Are
has
you
that been
getting-
up? I didn't see it.
Last Friday.
I say that just went up.
Or no. Right around when Tony had his column.
Was it last
So it was
Wednesday,
like-
Thursday?
Yes, when
Yeah,
Tony's
Wednesday
column
or
went out, it was
Tuesday
there's a
or
link in it.
Yeah. So as soon as that went up.
So are you
this
getting
went live.
responses to that right now? Like,
Yes.
is feedback coming in from that?
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, so we'll kind of collect that and compile it, and then figure we'll share that as well as obviously whatever we get at the public information meeting at the same time.
I'll take the action to share this within the Penfield Gardens Facebook. I don't know if anybody else has Penfield Gardens, but we have a Facebook page, and then on the next door, although that's not only Penfield folks, but I'll do that within Penfield Gardens, so.
I shared it on Penfield Faces.
Okay.
and People, so it's out there too.
Any other thoughts, discussions on
I had a question about,
the walk?
that's one of the photos I took by the Clark House. There's a big manhole cover or plate covering something. I was curious what that was for. And
It's
Zach
probably
thought
an
you might
irrigation
know.
vault.
Well, that, yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Mhm.
What's under that?
It's on
What's under
the
there?
front nine side.
If I had to guess, it is probably a pump or a system to irrigate the course. I don't know.
It's nothing as romantic as an old well or something that's been there since 1810. or
I've seen guys going in there.
Yeah.
I don't know where they were from, not the water.
They're
But
probably.
You think that's where they bring the
uh,
water over from the quarry to irrigate the course?
I'm not sure that's where it's coming from. It may very well be, but the company that's probably going in there is who they've contracted with to maintain
It's
it.
not a sewerage connection.
No.
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 No, we don't have sanitary sewers over that far.
Or ones that would look
They
like
don't-
that.
The Clark House is not on sewers?
It's
Septic.
not.
It's not separate.
Oh, well, that's
What's the
what I
leach
thought,
field?
because there were times where we had terrible smell there, and I called Monroe County Water, and they said, no, it's not that, it's the pond was,
Sanitary
having
sewer goes-
organic
Yeah, the sanitary sewer goes
decomposition.
just past your house.
Yeah, we had a couple of summers where it smelled like sewage going, the drainage from the pond goes into my backyard. It goes under the road and into my backyard. And there were a couple of summers in August where it was just awful. And I called Monroe County Water out, and I thought it was a sewage. I thought maybe the Clark House was not on sewers and their leach field or whatever was going crappy, and they said, no, it's not that, it's the pond.
No pond. I mean, it could be some leach. and
So the
they
Clark
could-
House is not on sewers.
Where's the leach pad?
Yeah, good,
Yeah, where's
good
the leach
question.
field?
Is it
Because
just
there
west
is a
of
line
that?
there, I'm on sewers. I mean, the
Then it's
sewer
right by
line
your
is-
house there. Which house
See the
is
red?
yours?
Right where his pointer is.
Do you see where the red stops
Yeah,
now?
right there.
That's the
We
end.
would
That's
map
the
it,
end.
we
That
would
one's
map it
next door.
further if it was getting to
That's
that
the end of the line.
property.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know that. Well, that explains the smell then, because they had a golf tournament or something going on there.
Overtaxed it.
And I was
Sure
I
was a
was
sewage.
lied to by the Monroe County Water people.
Surprise.
They said, no, it's natural decomposition in the pond, dead frogs and stuff.
Well, that could be too, but
But it was awful. It didn't smell like that. It smelled like sewage. And it was going into my backyard.
where's the leach beds?
Yeah, where's
I
the
don't know.
leach?
That's what.
Someone will have to confirm.
There is the elevated space, like just to the west of the Clark House, that,
That's where the
Was it a
practice
green?
used to be.
Okay.
Practice
Yeah, the putting green is there. Could be under
okay.
that. Keep it green.
It
be
seemed
under-
like a big flat,
Usually when you look on a map like this, you find the nice flush green areas where a leach field is because it's pretty
really well
fertile.
Watered and
fertilized.
fertilized.
Yeah, but golf course.
So you're either looking somewhere here or
One of the green.
Everything's green.
there won't be anything impervious over it. But county health department holds all those records. We don't track where leach fields are or septic systems.
What's that on your map out for us?
Not on this.
Not on this one.
What else you guys want to talk about? Or, you want
Photograph?
to look at some pictures that were taken, perhaps?
Yeah,
Of the-
please.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of you have the images burned in your head. I know Bob posted a few of his pictures in here.
Yeah, I
I
think
think
so.
you ought to auction off those T markers.
I agree.
Those are pretty cool.
I heard you found some on Saturday.
I found the 14th.
Yeah, we did. We found some on somebody's backyard.
Really?
Kelly went and picked it up. We were trying to figure out what marker it was. I think it was
Well, I
what,
think it'd
14?
be interesting
14. Sitting in
if we
somebody's
could
backyard.
incorporate them into some of the
Code enforcement's going to knock on their door.
We were waiting for them to come out, going, "What are you doing in my backyard?
It was right
What are you doing with our T marker?"
Yeah, right.
That's public property now.
So what did everybody think of the barn? I don't think it can be saved.
I don't think so.
No, I don't either.
I think it's
Doesn't seem like
bad.
it would be worth it.
Yeah, it's awful.
I think it'd be
Really tough.
Is there
to
any
see.
companies around here like the Barnwood Builders that would
salt
come take it down?
salvage. I think that'd be really cool to
Then they could
offer.
save it maybe. Not, wouldn't be this barn, but maybe they could use it for
Yeah.
something else.
I agree with that.
That's actually a good idea.
Yeah, but he's not in the kitchen getting video. He can turn those lights on.
You can kind of see the Swiss cheese effect here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't look like,
No, it did not.
disappointingly, huh?
Some-
You,
I think
you,
that was
we
a-
wanted weddings there.
I think that was a general consensus, I think, at least our group, and it sounds like your group, that unfortunately the barn's not in great condition. And,
I imagined a lot better than what I saw.
yeah,
Well, with those
It's a
big
great
holes in the roof.
picture.
parts of the roof already starting to go, and then
Yeah.
you get underneath, and I mean, it does have a block foundation, so it's not as old as we thought.
Floor in the wood.
But yeah, it just hasn't been maintained that well, and they didn't even have the public in there. And obviously, if we're talking about places of assembly, we go to a whole nother level of handicap accessibility, sprinklers, emergency egress. You know, it takes it from just being a cool barn that you can sell golf balls out of to obviously making it safe for the public.
Oh, this one.
It's a barn.
Same
Still a
idea.
barn.
Great place for a Halloween party.
Hey, Jim, how you doing? No, I'm sorry about the projector. Looks a lot better on a computer screen. Were there any questions? I know everyone tried to ask questions as we were walking. Does anyone have questions now since the walk about things that you saw out there? Just flip through these, maybe. Sparks of thought.
I say when we walked, actually the Penfield players had the other barn open. They kind of had their half open, so we kind of cut through, and they were using the maintenance building down where they kind of walked along Wayland Road. We walked on Saturday. They had that. They were using half of it, so they've kind of got the one side. They've got equipment for sets, and they do different plays and stuff. So that used to be in the
It's been in a couple places. Red Barn.
Red Barn building that just recently came down over here on Jackson Road. So they actually were moving stuff in and out, so it was open, so we actually happened to come through it when we were out there, but the other half is kind of open right now, but this is obviously down by the creek and
Yeah, it's really
crossing the bridge.
beautiful. Down
You could see some trees down that were in there. Some of the utility poles that go through there are gonna come down. There's a project that RG&E is doing. I kind of highlighted it for our group, but in some of the pictures you can see kind of a big white
Right
conduit
here.
that runs through. That's a nitrogen-filled power line. It's a major trunk line for RG&E. They're working on a project that's old, it leaks, so it takes a lot of cost and maintenance for them. They're relocating that through part of that area, and then up Sawmill Drive, and then out and around. So that's kind of a next summer, fall project for them. So that'll clean up some
What's
of the
on their
sheds.
calendar? Actually on their calendar?
Yep, they've met with us. They haven't.
They
They'll
wanted
do.
to try it this fall, but they couldn't get to
They'll
it.
do some public information meetings come spring, summer for the residents.
What do you think, Mark? That's gonna take it out of there?
Yep. So they're gonna take those utility poles out, run down our property line in the back, and then take away that overhead conduit line that's hanging. They'll actually run down the middle of Sawmill Drive, and then go up 5 Mile, and then tie back in, and then kind of down the hillside over to Panorama.
They may have been, this week I drove by and right around that big utility box on Main Road, they were there, the box was open, so they may have already been starting to disconnect from those lines, I don't know, but they were, something was in progress earlier, late last week, I should say.
Okay.
And that one again. Back to you, sir.
I don't think she wants to take any home. It's gonna come around again.
I'll take it home.
So you've done a little extra walking, you the ladies did some extra walking after you were done, what'd you think?
It was really interesting back there. There's definitely some steeper terrain.
Yeah, so we went all
Yeah, Beth can kind of point
Can you
out.
show us what you did?
Yeah, we came around in here and kind of explored just basically to the edges.
Thank you.
And there are some steeper sections. There's a creek that comes in, I guess I can't tell, maybe in here. But,
We've got the one drainage that discharges on behind Bob's house here that kind of runs down this way.
yeah, but there's one that
And
kind
here,
of
and then
comes
there's
in
a
from the,
drainage
there we
way.
go. So really nice terrain in there.
Yeah, there was a really interesting feature
Kind of
too here
plateau.
where there was kind of like a ridge that kind of came out here. Just there was a neat view of this area down here.
Yeah.
Something eligible for like an overlook or something like that?
Yeah, definitely. From a trail perspective, it's a great like point of interest to get out to.
Yeah, it's pretty rugged in there. There's some rocks.
Can you
and,
just pinpoint where that is exactly, because I'm not, I can't visualize that.
It's a little hard. I don't know if you can
We-
put out
is that where we walked?
2 foot.
No, that was
kind of-
west of
No,
where we
they,
ended up.
they did
We
off track.
stopped at the tee box up here at the top of
Yeah, okay.
18 and kind of looked off to the west.
Find out where the barn is.
So we walked up
'cause that's
and
where-
actually
Yeah,
stopped
so
right
there's
about
the
here.
barn.
Okay.
And then we kind of looked down into where the wooded area was off the side and said that was the steep slope. They
I
went off the trail and down into the woods. and
Yeah, it was
Got
kind
it.
of
Okay.
that area.
I got it.
Here.
All right, that makes sense now. Thanks. Thanks,
Yeah,
Mark.
we didn't go very far. We kind of stayed on the trail and then
At the
looked over
corner
that side and
Okay.
then turned around. And that's when we turned around and then turned
That's
over.
fine.
Yep, got it.
Rectangle.
Or when you're
Okay.
back further in the
Then
property
there's a
here.
space, you see where that,
point.
Okay, so that's what it was.
the
It's
other
Right,
little
that
creek,
ridge
Yeah.
there.
that point there.
That's where we stopped.
that belongs to the
And then-
town.
Yeah, you can come out.
That part, I can't see.
Yeah, it's interesting that the private
There's a
land
lot,
extends
there's
across
there's
that
a
other
lot,
creek.
About 100.
It's really inaccessible
Yeah, I
to,
guess it's about
to the
150
property
feet
owners,
across
but,
the front.
Yeah.
frontage
but
that
pretty
belongs-
terrain
that's
back
part of
there,
Shell
real,
Farms
old,
It's
some old
between me
growth
and
trees.
Belows
The creek
yard.
goes
There's
through
two
there,
houses.
probably really wet in the springtime.
You're still on this side of the road.
No,
Yes.
but
Yeah,
we
okay.
just follow the contour.
Because there is
lines.
one out
Pretty
there.
undisturbed because it was
Yeah, that's
so,
Sam Ogie.
the elevation
He's right
kept
across
changing, a
from
lot of
my
steep
house.
slopes in
Okay,
there.
yeah.
And this is the.
Yeah, it wouldn't be
edge of the
conducive for,
whole
building
18,
houses
so
or
that's
a
kind of
golf course or
awful.
anything like that. That's probably why
It's a big black dot,
it got left
Yeah.
untouched.
but they got rid of it. A friend of mine took
It was more open than I
Yeah, I
thought
just
it would
saw
be
used to
too.
bark. They
There's a lot
come
of,
once
a lot of the other
once every
woods around
2 or 3
Penfield
weeks to
are,
cut the lawn.
seem to be much more dense
were
than
there.
that.
I don't know.
So I don't know if it was clear cut at one point or.
Because they didn't want to.
Now, it's
Yeah.
tough with these
And she
images
passed away last
sometimes
year.
because
They kept her for a long time, yeah. She got-
when the aerials are taken,
Passed
you know,
away.
it looks so dense and thick
It was actually-
from here, and then when you get out there, it's a
Yeah,
completely
So
different
friendly. It was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
setting, you know?
Well, from the air, it would probably still look pretty dense because
Yeah.
there's some huge
Bark once in a
trees.
while,
Yeah.
but
I
not a
mean,
lot.
some of the bigger ones that
The
I've seen. in
canopies are
Penfield.
full, but when you get to the understory, it's a little more open than you
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
What kind of condition were the trees in out there? Were they in really good
She'd
shape?
come over.
Yeah, it was
Sit in my lap.
fine. There was
There were a
one big
couple of
one that was
large
down, but
yeah.
but other than that, it was either new growth or really old growth that looked
Any deer
to an untrained eye looked pretty healthy.
Any deer
When you
shit?
guys went back in there, were you looking for anything specific to use that
You didn't
for,
find
or
anything?
No.
Well,
or just to check it out?
What was that?
When you
did
guys
you have
went in
anything
there?
in mind
Yeah,
when you were
what was
back
in
there?
mind, your mind to?
I wanted to explore it, and I'm always, I look at everything through the lens of like,
Okay.
oh, where could I put a cool trail in
All
here?
right,
Yeah,
So there's
Absolutely.
quite a few
Hiking,
acres there that
Okay.
are not part of the golf course, right?
Yeah.
There's,
Say that again?
that whole southwest corner of the property is,
No,
Well, it
no
wasn't
holes.
used for the golf course, no, but
It's
part of their
wooded, but
land.
on the,
right, it's part of the, but I mean, it's something I haven't seen. I haven't been back there.
Well, yeah, it's because it wasn't really usable as the golf course because of the terrain.
How tall is the
So
average
it's,
growth?
it's really
There's actually no-
virgin land. It's
Yeah.
Not that
undeveloped,
Big
totally
tall, just
undeveloped.
trees.
Yeah, there's huge canopy,
Oh, at one point that was probably.
tall trees, and then, yeah, not much small stuff.
So yeah, I think that is a really nice space, you know, considering the other parks that we have within Penfield. It's similar in terrain to coming off the top of Old Penfield
Like
Road,
kind of
coming
stuff,
down Coyote, the Coyote Trail. If you're
Coyote
familiar
Trail,
with
yeah.
that, kind of in that, you know, nice little gully, and that kind of level of steepness and terrain. So, and those are great hiking trails. They're not, the Ellison stuff's not opened up biking because it's Monroe County, but yeah, nice trails.
Well, thanks for looking at that.
Yeah.
Any other photographs that you want to look at?
That was all I had.
Good.
We didn't get out through the little dog leg there, but it would be interesting to take a walk and just see what does it look like all the way out to the road through there.
Then you're in my backyard.
We waved.
We were careful to avoid
Right.
very lunch. It looked like it had been flagged.
Was his yard the one with the thing in it?
Well, yeah, there was some flagging
Yeah,
at
we
the
saw
edge of
some flags in corners.
No,
those
that was us that found that in somebody else's backyard.
Well, the surveyors
Oh, here.
marked that off.
corner.
Yeah, and
of
the corners on the south end there,
Yeah.
and we didn't go further north on the west side there. So.
Bob's got a laser beam back there probably.
No, that's
Trip any
Delilah.
alarms.
Delilah's got that.
You want to talk about 13th then?
Yeah. So November 13th is your public information meeting. That will be run by Andy. Andy's not here tonight, but he'll be kind of the masters of ceremony for it. He'll kind of run setting the ground rules for people to get up and speak. They'll be looking to keep people to 5 minutes, just not knowing how many people are coming, how many people want to share. They can get up, share their information. We hope the committee can be there to listen. It will be videoed and recorded if you can't be. It's not up to the committee to respond. It's not up to the committee to debate. Andy will control that. Your job is to listen and hear input. You may like some, you may not like some, but your input, your job is just to listen that night. Some people may want to get up and debate this and that, and hopefully Andy will kind of just say, you're welcome to share your stuff. It's not a back and forth with the committee. It's not we're not looking to put you guys in that position. Yeah.
Is anybody gonna be taking minutes? or taking
We'll be videotaping it, and
Videotaping.
then, we'll be scribing down, thoughts and ideas of what people are looking for, as well as what we compile online, or if people want to send in emails, letters, we'll take all sorts
Yeah,
of.
we'll be looking at a report, a consensus, or some sense of what the meeting was.
I'm gonna remind my friends about the meeting, but for people who don't go to the meeting or can't make it or don't want to, get tied up, is emailing Amy Steckloff a good way to get your...
We'll still be able to use that.
Probably just
This
going
is the
through
best
the
way.
webpage is going right.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's right on the home page. There's a hard link right here. A
All
quick
right,
link
I'll
right
give them a link to that page.
here. Just tell them where to go to the home page and click on
If you go to-
public input shall
No,
apply.
I'll give them a link.
Okay.
This works too.
How long
Penfield.org,
is
and
this
it's-
going to be available on the website?
We'll keep this up,
Probably a week after the public information meeting for those that weren't able to get there.
Okay.
Because we want to make sure that you guys have all the information, but aren't flooded with new information constantly. We want to make sure you have. Yeah, you got to cut it off at some point. So we want to make sure we give people enough time before and after the public information meeting. That way you guys can sit down, discuss, analyze.
It may not be as soon as a week after.
Maybe two.
We may go through, we'll go through the holidays probably.
hopefully at least up and until some point before your December 11th meeting, so hopefully we can kind of have a cutoff from that. Hopefully we'll have some, information from the rec master plan committee input, and then, on December 11th, we can kind of start to look at what does that look like, what comments, what ideas are out there, and then, you guys can start debating different ideas, thoughts, new stuff that came in, and then kind of see where we go from there.
Can I ask why we won't have a meeting on the 27th? Did we decide specifically not to do that last Tuesday of November?
Yeah, we're just trying to stay away from the holidays, knowing as the holidays get busy that everybody's kind of getting jammed up, so we were looking
Jim's
at
gonna start
making
preparing on
one meeting
Stop.
Monday.
one meeting in November, one meeting in December, just to try to minimize, because we've also got the comp plan committee, so we're trying to fit them in there as well. Then you've got the holiday, as well as some other meetings. We're just trying to be cognizant of your time and know that the holidays get busy for everybody and people are traveling. And we tried looking with the comp plan committee, because actually their meeting fell on election day, which we're unaware of, so we were trying to relocate where they went. And then, as we started picking out days and weeks, and then the hands went up of who can't make it, and then as you start dropping 3-4 plus people, what's the benefit of, you guys have all dedicated time and set aside to it. We want to make sure everybody has an equal opportunity to have input and be here to be part of the discussion.
Plus Black Friday, a lot of shopping on Cyber Monday.
Zach's got
These
planned
are
something
not
Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, wait, what's the
Things.
Tuesday, yeah.
Shopping Tuesday, yeah.
I gotta buy a new TV, so hey.
Alright.
Actually, March is a better time to buy a TV.
Yeah, we're a little past that. When the TV starts getting fuzzy, you gotta react.
Any questions about the public information meeting and your role, how that's going to play out, or?
Is there gonna be a cutoff time, or what's kind of the expected run time for that?
Depends on the turnout.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll keep it in this 2 hour, 7 to 9 time frame. That's why we're trying to keep people to 5 minutes. As we always do with planning board, town board, everybody will get one chance to get up, and then sometimes it sparks somebody's thought, you want to get up again. Andy will do a good job of saying, no,
Hang on.
we've heard from you, let's give everybody at least a chance to get up first before we start having seconds. And
we'll put a
second
sign-in
things
sheet
around.
there for people, and then we'll give that to Andy, and we'll start calling people up as they came in, so there's some order to it. And then if people didn't get a chance to speak yet and didn't sign up, we usually go through the crowd and say, all right, if you didn't have a chance to sign in, raise your hand. Here we go, first time through, and then follow-up comments after.
Are
It
we
might
to
take,
all sit together?
what?
Are we to all sit together?
You could if you want.
I mean, you don't need to.
Okay, we're not gonna be up.
No, we're not putting you guys in a panel.
You can come in
Safety numbers.
I made us t-shirts.
Everyone's wearing hats.
We can just get those Shadow Pines pens again. I mean, Bob and I can get those and bring those.
If it makes you feel better, we're gonna be the targets up there, so don't worry.
Where's the video? Like, how do you get access to the video after?
After,
The meeting.
basically, if you go on the homepage,
Yep.
we have a link to both our YouTube and Vimeo site.
Oh, okay.
It's right on.
Usually it's right there.
Usually there's, I don't know why they're not
Usually it's right
popping up right now, but usually there's a queue of recent videos.
Well, if you
on
see,
the
he
right.
says Seymour on YouTube, he's transferred everything over to
Okay,
YouTube for the
great.
time being, so.
So Vimeo is not there anymore?
No, they're both.
They
they're
must be
both-
working on it or doing something with the, I'm sure
Because
he's
Vimeo, I
listening to us right
You
now.
could download the video. I've stored a couple of them from the moratorium
I think
committee,
they're
but
doing some maintenance or
Bob,
something.
I don't think
on
you
the
can
program.
download from YouTube.
No, but Vimeo, there's still a link right here for Vimeo. They're just not showing those images as previews.
Yeah, I went there and I couldn't find anything.
No, he says he's moved them over to YouTube. And they'll probably be, I don't know why he's done that. He has a reason, I'm sure.
Can you download a YouTube video? I don't think you should.
Not directly, but if you
Yeah,
just search
some-
download
if you have-
YouTube video, you'll
It'll
find
be
a
there
ton
first.
of sites that have services to
Yeah.
download.
You just keep the link and you go to it anytime you want.
Yeah.
And
Here you
So
go.
there's
There
There's that.
There's our
Oh,
comprehensive
look at
plan meeting.
me. That's
Good
fantastic.
red,
Why
Zach.
can't we have a
Oh, we
freaking
matched.
cover image instead of my face?
He was waiting
We
for
had
this
red
question.
shirt.
It was a red shirt.
Where were you tonight?
I was
Plan
coaching. I was coaching, sorry. Other things. Alright,
So there they are, if you
Okay.
need them.
That's great.
YouTube might be the best way to go.
so at the meeting, town board will be there or just? you
It'll
don't
just be
know?
Andy.
Okay,
Andy
okay,
and
you
possibly
guys.
Tony, I'm not sure
Okay.
yet. I think Tony's intent is to try and show up.
Okay,
His intent is not to speak unless some question comes up that Andy can't answer and he
all right.
can.
But Andy's in charge.
Yep.
Yeah, Andy will run it, so it won't have the
Jim and I will
appearance
be
that
up
it's a
there.
town board,
Okay.
overseeing it or whatever, it's
It's a committee for-
meeting, but,
Yeah.
just have Andy to kind of referee and just to kind of lay the ground rules and work people through so you guys can just sit in the audience, listen, take
Yeah.
notes, hear what people have to hear. There is no need to debate, no,
And there shouldn't be
discussion
any
from the group.
debate. I mean, it should be them giving you input and then getting on with business.
It'd be bad form for us to go up and
say something?
Probably would.
Probably
Give
would.
your,
We wouldn't recommend it.
You don't need to.
you'll
there
have a
Be
chance
entitled.
later on.
Unless you really want a target on your head.
Well,
Little fake
Send
nose.
your wife.
you never know, somebody who didn't want us to buy it, one of those people might
Yeah.
come to try to say
Yeah.
something, you never know, so.
Yeah, they're allowed.
They're welcome.
Public information
Share their
meeting.
comments and-
Has anybody been accosted at a party or any kind of event yet? You will be. Especially after the 13th.
Just come to one of our normal board meetings. We get all kinds of people, so we're used to it.
All right. For that,
So obviously your next meeting is the 13th. This room, 7 o'clock, same place, same location, same time. And then obviously we'll pass on any further information ahead of your December 11th meeting. We'll be right back here, 7 o'clock on the 11th. December.
All good?
Yep.
It's great, thank you.
thanks for coming.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for the chocolate.
Have a happy Halloween.
Win friend.